So anybody who's seen Kaki King play knows that she's an extremely talented artist. She plays multiple instruments. So we wanted to find a way to sort of highlight that in the story. As we started discussing the concept with Kaki and the people over at Velour, we came up with this concept where she is walking to a gig, and along the way she passes all of these different New York experiences, and the sort of emotional energy of those experiences spills off of the characters and is drawn to her.
When we initially came up with the idea for this video, we thought right off the bat that we wanted to do stop motion and we wanted to do light writing.
And we thought, man, wouldn't it be great to use this artistic technique that's been used really beautifully, almost in a kind of a one-off way, and fold it into a longer human narrative. She was just down to do it, which, you know, because it takes a really willing partner to do something like this, because it was 2,700 still frames that we had to shoot for the video.
You hit a flash bulb on a set of still photography strobes, and that exposes your subject, and then once that's gone, you're back to a really low-level foot candle count. And during that process, our lead animator, Patrick Jason, would run in with one of many lights and some light writing collaborators and paint with light and create these animations that, frame by frame, whatever the element was would begin to grow around Kaki and become a story in and of itself. Guy Godfrey flew in from Toronto, Patrick Jason flew in from Atlanta. We shot the entire piece on video first to see what it was going to look like as a visual previs.
Yeah, so we had Kaki record the song 3 different times with each instrument, guitar, drums, so that we could show her back the frames that she was supposed to be on to make it look like she's actually playing the instruments.
And then it was night 1, and, you know, full crew, middle of winter, New York City, starting at 6 o'clock when the sun goes down and ending between 3 and 6 a.m.
And she was a real trooper in the freezing, freezing cold. I mean, we just got hit with the, you know, it was probably the worst cold snap of the winter, just when we happened to be doing this thing out at night. I had a cup of coffee, and I set it down on a fence, and next thing I look over, and one of the assistant light writers knocks it over, and I'm like, oh no! But it falls and hits the ground with a thud because it had just frozen solid in like the 5 minutes that I'd been doing something else.
There was aspects of it where I think, you know, it was like, is it really possible to do something this slowly? I'd say Patrick Jason probably got the brunt of that, where he would have to do things like launch himself down 20 flights of stairs with 2 LED lights over and over and over again, to the point where he was basically like running a physical marathon with gravity very much against him.
By the end, like, Kaki was literally like a human piece of clay. Like, no one had to even tell her like what her next motion was. She just was a kind of claymation doll. And we had a whole routine down, you know, like firing, position 1, 2, 3, you know, we had a whole walk cycle, and she would just burn through it. But I mean, getting to that point was extremely trying, just because it's literally, you have to mold yourself for all the motion. And, you know, part of the charm of the whole thing is that it has a kind of jerky, you know, organic, homemade quality. While I wouldn't recommend you try this at home, you know, it's like, it's literally 1 frame at a time, you know, if you just are patient enough.